basically what we're doing, we have gone over in previous lessons about HR 40. HR 40 is the reparations bill that has gone through the markup phase, that is in the House of Representatives and U.S. Congress. And there are so many things that are really wrong with this bill, is that one, it, like Arthur was saying, it lacks specificity on who the people are that are to receive the reparations, because the way they have it set up, it's set up so that just anybody from the diaspora that is in the United States can get it. Anybody from the Caribbean, anybody from Africa, Central or South America. And that's not who the original group was that was supposed to be receiving the reparations. It was supposed to be the people who are direct descendants of chattel slavery, right? In the United States. Number two is secrecy. It's done in secrecy. They're trying to have the hearings in secrecy. This is a very significant piece of legislation and action items that they're trying to incorporate for reparations, but they don't want any media, and they will not share transcripts. They want to have a closed session. And anything that happens behind closed doors, if you're not, what they say, if you're not a part of if you're not on something about being on the menu or whatever, if you're going to be on the menu. So we don't want anything done in secrecy. We want it open. CNN and MSNBC and these 24/7 news stations are set up to be able to run something like this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's why they were, set up for the war, whatever. But it's no war going on that they're broadcasting. They're looking for news like this, and they can broadcast it. Number three, there are two Pan-African organizations whose directions that we don't even understand what they're doing, and we don't agree with. Narcan and Cobra are setting themselves up on a federal kind of level to be a repository to receive all of our reparations. Then they go through at least anywhere, a huge portion of it, up to 50% in operating and management costs. And that will trickle down to a statewide organization that takes their chunk out of it and to operate and manage or whatever that means. And then they take a chunk out of it and they send it to something like First Repair, which is a local organization that's done in Evanston, and they take their chunk out of it. And as a matter of fact, they had the little ping pong balls that they were pulling out like a lottery and say, oh, this person won $25,000 for their initial down payment for a new house, and they sent that money to the bank for that one individual. That's not reparations, and that's horrible. And you don't even know if that person is a descendant of chattel slavery. So everything is wrong with this bill, and it's creating a huge, Narcan and Cobra will not even listen to people who like myself, who descended from chattel slavery on both sides. They won't even listen to us. They don't even, their town hall was just, it's astroturf, it's garbage. They didn't even allow us to talk directly to the people. They just basically sat around for 2 hours. 1 hour, they introduced themselves and gave little narratives. And then the second hour is a Q&A where they were patting each other on the back. And then they had a 14-minute breakout sessions where we were introducing ourselves. I was the only person that got to speak and basically lambasted them for how they were trying to, rip our people off with this bait and switch. It's not a reparations bill. It's a money grab for Narcan and Cobra. So from that, we're basically calling our congressmen, because Narcan and Cobra don't care to talk to us, and we're trying to get them to say no to HR 40. And once we call them and talk to them or leave that message, we're putting that on on our social media. It's an example up here. I said, I have it on a Jumbotron. I just called my congressman and told him no to HR 40. So did my brother and parents. Did you call yours? So that's basically what I'm gonna share out on. I mean, it's on my Twitter, but I'm gonna put it on my Facebook. I'm gonna put it on my IG, and I'm asking everybody to do the same thing. If it's 20 people, if it's your neighbor, I don't care. I want it posted on there. And we're just going to start, breaking the internet from this thing because, and it's not just breaking the internet. It's if we break the internet, that means we've already made the call, right? I don't want you to just say no to HR 40 and not call your congressman because the point of it is to post up there if it's 10 people that called or one person that called. I want you to post that on there. I just called my congressman and told him no to HR 40. Also, Arthur Ward, basically, it's in the Jumbotron, the reason for it, so you don't have to even write this down. Just I've explained it, lack of specificity, the secret deliberations, and the two Pan-African organizations. Those are three reasons why this is a garbage bill at this point. The bill is not going to be changed. It's been through the markup phase. We need this thing to not even, we want the people, the congressmen who signed on to co-sponsor. It's in congress.gov. That is in the Jumbotron. We want them to basically be able to withdraw their co-sponsorship. And when they do that, that's what we're calling them and say, I see you're a co-sponsor. I want you to withdraw your co-sponsorship. I'm a constituent. This is a bad bill. And these are the reasons why. And they say, oh, the congressman's not in. His secretary who answers the phone is usually a woman. So I'm gonna be very, if it's a man, that's fine too. So we're going to tell them that no, we do not want to support that. We want you to withdraw your co-sponsorship because it's a bad bill, and these are the reasons why. And I will be calling you back to find out where you stand with what you did. Are you listening? And I'm going to have more people calling you, and they're going to be talking too because I'm teaching them about how bad this is. And we're constituents and we're freedmen, and this is supposed to be for us. And I'm not happy with this thing at all. This is terrible. Okay? So I'm sorry, I see a couple hands up. Y'all have
Yes.
some more.
Who's this? Fearless one.
Yeah, I just want to just add to what Ross said. It's like what you're doing is you're becoming instrumental in your surrounding areas as far as your community. But what also you're doing is that you're showing um, leadership without showing leadership because you're involved and your people, your community, your family, they have to see. I mean, not it's not so much they have to see that, but it's like when you're doing what you're doing, you're showing leadership anyway. But the fact is that you're being instrumental and you're showing a guide on what is needed to be done so that you can start to make them see it so that they can it can be like a domino effect to affect in their communities and to have for them to start informing their people or their people in their surrounding areas. And all this is just is going to inflame the Congress on who is who and who are not just woke, but I would say free.u, Freeman University. But it just shows that you're not just some regular old Negro just waiting around and wanting to go to work or something. You know, you got other things that is needed to be done and being very instrumental. So it's like you know you gotta make that you gotta be like full court press on the basketball court. You got to be letting people know. Look, I'm not just gonna wait till they get to the other half of the court to start playing defense. You full court press as soon as the ball get into the you know they put the ball into the I play basketball. I'm trying to figure out what the words say, but yeah, you see what I'm talking about, right? Okay.
We understand. Thank you. Next up is Elevation.
Peace. All I
Hello.
want to say is, in addition to the three main points that you point out in Jumbotron. I would also like to add one more, possibly, in saying that the legislation or the proposal is already made in bad faith. And you know that because they talk about having a 13-person committee with 7 of them being made up by Democrats and Cobra, and the other 6 chosen by the Speaker of the House and the President of the United States. And they can form those 6, the minority can form a quorum or overwrite the vote or the decision made by the majority. So you already know it's in bad faith. That's all I want to say. Peace.
Thank you for your
Absolutely.
comments.
Thank you so much, Elevation. Yeah, we actually went over that too. But I mean, if that's something you want to add to your statement when you're calling your congressman, when I say Congress, I mean strictly the House of Representatives for House Resolution 40, which is HR 40. This is not, please don't call the Senate because they're not going, that doesn't make sense. I'm just asking you to do a little bit of homework, which is go to congress.gov, type in HR 40 in the search bar, and then it will pull up the text. It's the tab for the text, and it will have the entire bill there, which is, this is a short bill, but the co-sponsors that signed on, the sponsor and co-sponsors that signed on is right at the top. So you got to just look through and find out. I know that my congressman signed on because I was calling him prior to him signing on. Then when he signed on and they weren't going to add the Dr. Darity's edits, which are vital. And then it was like, now you got to basically go back and undo the work that you did, which is is quite frustrating, but so be it. I don't care. I mean, it's like they didn't do what they're not, like you said, brother, it's a bad faith bill. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. And it's a bait and switch, right? When you hear reparations and this is for us and this is what we need to do and let's push it and come on, wonderful, wonderful. But when you start digging you start digging into this thing, it's really a horrible, horrible bill. And it's a bait and switch. I think we as a freedmen people are tired of getting ripped off and cheated and treated badly. I think that, I mean, I know I am. Aren't you guys? I mean, that freedmen, aren't you? We're tired of getting, baited and switched around and not having proper representation in federal government. So this is something we got to do. Take the the bull by the horns ourselves. And I'm encouraging everybody to please call. I don't care. Call today. Share out. If you see somebody that has, I call my congressman, and you haven't called, share theirs, and then that share. If you see it, share it enough to the point that, you know what, I gotta call mine because this is embarrassing. I'm sharing everybody else's sticker and showing what they did. Well, hell, I need to show what I'm doing too. So I want that to happen. If you got to share other people's, then share it. Watch how many times we're going to be sharing and showing off that we're doing some serious work over here. Sue, I think it's Sue. Okay, Sumo, I'm allowing, it's 11:20. I'm giving you a couple minutes to speak.
All right, thanks. Appreciate y'all. See, I'm young to all this, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm trying to find a purpose to, you know what I'm saying, for my reason of living. And I have a real passion for my people, and I'm just trying to get on board with what everybody talking about with these Twitter spaces, you know what I'm saying? So my first question is, I can't figure out who am I supposed to call for my congressman. It's pulling up representatives and congressional districts, senators, and stuff like that. I don't know who to call. So
Okay, what's your zip code? Because I'm in here on commoncause.org.
my zip code is 44106.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta put in an email address. I'ma just dump one of mine in here. And I've never used this site, by the way. This is how 44106, correct?
Yes.
This is not the site that I necessarily use, but wait a minute. Why are they asking me thank you for your support? I'm going to use the one I normally use, okay? The one I normally use, and it's pretty easy,
Mm-hmm.
it's at the top of the Jumbotron, and it was house.gov. So when I go into house.gov, okay, hold on a second.
Congressman.
And you go into look up your representative. You said 44106, right?
Yes.
And it's at the top in that right-hand corner.
Okay.
It is Chantel M.
Okay,
Brown.
I found it. So I just
Okay.
I contact her, get her information, and then like send her an email or something with
You well, you see her number right there, her number in Washington, D.C. You can call that number.
okay.
You can call her in her home office number, but you would call her and you would tell her exactly what we had stated,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not happy about the HR 40, and you want, well, first of all, you would find out, go from there, you go to congress.gov and you find out if she was a co-sponsor. You go into HR 40 and you find out if she was one of the co-sponsors for the HR 40 bill.
Okay.
And if she is listed there in HR 40 under congress.gov for HR 40, then you would call her. If she's not listed, which I doubt she's not, I think she would be listed, but I want to check it out anyway. I'm gonna check it while Arthur and them talk. So I'll check it out too. And if she's under that sponsorship, or she was one of the people that sponsored the HR 40 bill, we want her to withdraw her co-sponsorship.
Okay. I'm writing that stuff down. I have one more question too, if I can.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So I understand that communication and bringing together the collective minds is good, but my question is, why don't we unify and bring it to these people's doorsteps?
Well, I mean, you can't, but this is the reason why. If you are a constituent and I go up there and I'm starting to talk to Congressman Brown, and I'm not her constituent, she doesn't have to answer to me. She has to answer to you, right? And by the time you coalesce and get everybody that's under her to say this or do, like, get her to, most people aren't even calling their congressman. They don't know what the temperature is, what your thoughts are until you call them. By the time you get people together and have them call on this, then maybe something else detrimental will pop up, and then you got to get people together again. That's not how it works. It works better if you just make a phone call and say, hey, look, I'm a constituent of yours. This is my zip code. And she'll say, that's my district. Let me pay attention. Now, if I call, I'm going to give her a totally different zip code. They're going to be like, what? Who? What? Okay, well, you need to call your congressman, not me, right? So
Okay.
by the time you get people in that zip code to call and to coalesce, then it's going to be too much of an effort just doing that, rather than you making your phone call. You could talk to your neighbors, you could talk to your family members, right? And every adult is 18 years and over, they're going to listen to them. It's
All right.
easier to just call them and say, hey, I got 50 people that are in your district calling about the same thing. You can best believe they're going to take notice, because they don't usually get phone calls for something that's like this. And it's 50 people all of a sudden calling them saying, this is not good. And tell them, hey, I'm going to call you back very soon to find out what's going on with this, and you withdrawing your sponsorship from here. Don't leave it there. Don't see, okay, that's fine. Tell them I'm going to call you back and do it. Does that help
Yeah,
you at all?
Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Thank you so
it's
much.
better. Yeah, that effort. Yeah, the
Yes, sir.
effort rather than going to the person's door, it's better to go to your neighbor's doors. It's better to go to your family and your friends that live in your district. Give them the information, and I'm telling you, see, they might, if there's too many people coming up to their house at the same time, they're gonna call the police. You don't want them to do that. You want them to get that phone call. That's the move on this one. That phone call is a killer.
Yeah, that
And
phone
if they're
call is
getting the
powerful
same phone
too.
call on the same subject by a bunch of people in their district, believe me, they're going to pay attention, because you are the guys that keep them in a job. Not Narcan and Cobra, you are.
Okay. Okay.
And if you need some help, or you're not sure exactly, brother, or anybody on here, y'all can back channel me. I mean, you could back channel me, Arthur Ward, or Angie. We know, I know we cute. We not just window dressing though, so we could definitely do what we can in order to help you with, like, with what you're trying to do, because it's important, right? I mean, the only reason we're doing this is to get you your direct payment reparations. We don't want anybody interfering with your direct payments, my direct payments for reparations. And right now it's too many, it's too many cooks trying to get up in the kitchen and get their food first. They want to cook the food, they want to eat the food, and they want to leave us with seeds and scraps, like
Right.
empty seeds and scraps. And we
Let, let,
can't allow that to happen.
let's put it this way, and I'm telling you straight up what I know. You just came in the room. I was telling people earlier, my son's girlfriend, she owns an apartment building, and one of her tenants is a girl that belongs to an Indian tribe that receives reparations. She gets her reparations every month, $7,000 directly from the U.S. Treasury with a U.S. Treasury check. No taxes taken out of it, and the income itself is not taxed. The Japanese, they get their money the same way. Other Indian tribes that receive direct cash reparations, they get theirs the same way. So let's say if reparations pops off the way Darity does, and we immediately get paid our wealth gap check. So you mean to tell me you're gonna sit there and rather get that $840,000 in a check, they're going to you, you'd rather for it to go to Ron Daniels of Narcan and Cobra. I mean, that's basically what this phone call is about.
It's going to go to them. They're going to take their lump of it out and operate. Oh, it's operating in managerial costs. And then they're going to send it on the state level, and they're going to take their lump of it out. And then it's going to go to the local level, and they're going to have ping pong balls to give your money out to whoever for and you get 25,000 for a new house to one person. You will never see your reparations money with these people. That is that critical. I'm sitting up here drinking coffee after waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at 2:30, because I think it's important that y'all know this. Arthur doesn't sleep much. Angie, I don't know how she's up now. We're concerned. We want this thing to happen for you. And it's important that you know about it, because the people who are in these so-called legacy organizations, either they're compromised or they don't know it. And they're supposed to know. They're supposed to know what we're telling you, and they're supposed to share and get that information out there to you. But these people don't know. I've called different organizations and say, hey, do you know that this is happening, Mr. and Mrs. President, over in this organization? And they don't know it. They don't
Now,
know it, and they don't know it at all.
let me add to that a little bit. There are actually two kinds of organizations out there that support Narcan and Cobra. The first kind are the kind that Roz has described, that they don't know, and they do have sincere intent on supporting reparations. But then you got the second kind of organization out there that know perfectly well what these people are trying to do. And they support it because they want their people to continue to be ahead of us. They understand that there's a long-term strategy to keep Black people at the bottom. So yes, they're going to support it. Just like we got two types of representatives in Congress right now. Those that support it because they don't know what's in the bill, and those that support it because they do know what's in the bill and what the implications are.
Okay, Sadiku and then A Boogie.
Okay, Sumo. We follow each other on Twitter. I left you a message in your back channel, brother. So I mean in your messages. So if you can, did he get off? He was just here. So I had something very important that I wanted to mention, but it skipped my mind because while we're talking and having this discussion, this meeting, I'm actually doing a whole document on what we're talking about and what we're doing. But I had a very important point I wanted to make, and that's why I came back to the mic. And I did want to just mention to the brother that I sent him something in his message, and also it was something that I wanted to say that was very important. If it has skipped my mind.
That's okay. I'm sorry. I was gonna say you can just stay in the queue, and when you think of it, then you can come back with it. That's fine.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'll do.
No problem. No problem, brother. A Boogie, you got a couple minutes. It's 11:34.
Oh no, I'm just gonna be quick because I just made my phone calls. Everybody, just make those phone calls, and when those staffers try to give you the runaround, hey, push back, because I say I want to hear back from you. Like, I'm not going for that. Like, I want you to tell all your statesmen, not just you, your statesmen too. I want you to notify your statesmen to remove your sponsorship. So you have to challenge these folks on all levels. Like, I'm not playing with these folks. Like, we got to really challenge these folks. And yeah, use your socials. Like Rod says, I'm using my socials. I don't even like Facebook, but I'm on there. I'm doing Afro stuff. I'm doing Arthur stuff. I'm stealing y'all memes because it's important and people is paying attention. So I just want y'all to know that this work is being done, and I'm following my elders and my leaders, and I'm looking for y'all, you know what I'm saying, for guidance. And that's it, man. Just keep doing the work.
All right. Thank you, brother. Now, definitely make sure you post that the number 2, no, capital N, some lowercase o. The number 2, HR is H&R, capital 40. And that's a hashtag that you put in, and let them know. Like, I called and, my congressman and said no to HR 40. And when y'all see that from that brother's post, because I'm going to be looking for it, I'm going to share it out. I'm going to say, see, this is what we doing. This is how we doing it, So, I mean, it's like I said, it's a point of pride that we're seeing it, and we're seeing that he's doing the work, because the work is attached to the hashtag. We're not just hashtagging something and hoping it go viral and ha ha he. This is taking it offline and making it from virtual to a reality. We making things happen. Y'all with me on that? So, you can respond, or anybody else have a question or comment. Thank you, A Boogie, for that. I appreciate you. Angie and Arthur, if you see anyone else with a question or comment, hand raised in the air, then please bring them to the stage, because we definitely want to make sure everyone is clear, crystal clear on this. And like I said, look in the Jumbotron. In the Jumbotron is congress.gov that has the list of the congressmen. It has the HR 40 bill. It has the list of the congressmen that are co-sponsors. Also, there's commoncause.org. I just went to house.gov. It's just easy. And it's in the upper right-hand corner to find your representative, to find out who represents you in Congress. Or you can go to ballotpedia.org. The house.gov is just the quickest and easiest, because you're right on the correct person for Congress, for the House of Representatives. And USA.gov. I said house.gov. And also, please copy down, Arthur Ward. Okay, Fear This. Thank you, Fear This. Fear This just contacted his congressman. Thank you. And we got to get these and share them, family. When we see them, that's a point of pride. Yeah. People making this work happen. And this is like I said, and Arthur Ward has it in here in his no to HR 40, and these are the reasons why. Lack of specificity in who should receive the reparations, secrecy that has taken place in the deliberations. So they're not going to even, like the Ahmaud Arbery trial, but the men that were, I'm not saying him, but the men who murdered him, they were on trial and it was public, right? The same thing with Derek Chauvin that murdered George Floyd. That was public. But they don't want to show our reparations negotiations, what's happening in Congress. Why not? Press is there. Press is ready to be there. Anytime they have something major like this, I'm going to let y'all know this. When they had the HR 40 hearing in Juneteenth of 2019, that whole hallway, it went from being empty. The only people that were there when I originally arrived were the people who were doing housekeeping and cleaning up. Now, by the time it got to be about 9 o'clock, that whole hallway had at least a couple thousand people in the hallway. And it was powerful because while the hearings were taking place, I was inside in the hearing room, but in the hallway, you could just hear our people, the passion. How are you going to sit there and not televise that? How are you going to keep that hidden, clandestine, behind closed doors? People don't even understand how serious our people are about reparations. That's as serious as we are about breathing the next breath. We gotta fight if somebody pushing our head underwater, we gotta fight for that reparations, just like we gotta fight for that next breath of air. And our people showed up and showed out. And I was so proud of our freedmen in that hallway. They were chanting. People didn't know. They've never, I'm telling you, the Capitol Hill police, they know what we were dealing with. Our passion, we love our people. We need our reparations. And you got somebody that's got two organizations that want to come in between and take and manage, so-called manage, and use your money to operate their businesses? Are you kidding me? And are you going to let that happen? I'm not. If I don't let it happen, I need you all to join in with me, and don't let that happen to your own money. Don't let it happen. Don't let them sit there and just live off the lifeblood of our people with our reparations and just go ahead and do whatever they want. How many times are we going to be cheated and allow that to happen? Okay, family, I'm done. I'll let somebody else come on in and they can speak on if they have a question as to what this class was today and what we're working on. And yeah, you can come on in now to the stage. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm just so passionate about making things happen. If we have 100 people in the space, if we have 1,000 people in the space, I mean, 100 people can turn into 10,000. Only thing you got to do is start telling 10 people, right? 100 people. If you're doing the space here and there, you make sure that those people know. I don't care if it's a comedy space. We're going to turn it serious for 5 minutes and get people this information, because our people need to know what to do, because it's in our hands to get this HR 40 bill that's currently out there in Congress stopped, unsponsored. This is not John Conyers' bill, the late great congressman from Detroit, Michigan. It's not his bill. This was rewritten. This is a Franken bill that hurts us.
It was rewritten for Pan-African purposes. Okay, I mean, like I said, hey, as a people, we can sit on our hands all we want, but that's your money. That's your money. It's your money. You can sit there and let Ron Daniels walk off with $840,000 of your money if you like, but at this point, it'll be our own fault if that happens. And we're telling you ahead of time, right now, pick up the phone. We gave you what to say. Contact your congressman. Tell him to take his name off that bill. Save your reparations.
Super Sean, brother, it's 11:44. You got 2 minutes. Speak your piece, sir.
Yo, I'm sorry, y'all kind of caught. Well, I kind of caught on to the room while I was in traffic, man. But I mean, as far as this HR 40 thing, I done already let my Congressional Black Caucus member know how I felt about it, all the way on up until the point where I don't even think her aides are giving her my messages anymore, because I've been on her neck about it for the past 2 years. Beyond that, I mean, all of this crap. One of the main things we got to do is we got to get back in control of our supposed leadership. We don't have equal representation even in the Congressional Black Caucus, because how is it that a little over half of the Congressional Black Caucus isn't even Black American? These cats are immigrants. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to any immigrants, but time has shown us exactly how immigrants feel about us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're pretty much doing. They're doing a historical. They went back in history to form propaganda against us. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the same thing that Nazi Germany did to the Jews. They're performing that same act on us as non-immigrant Black Americans. So, I mean, like, one of the major things we're gonna have to do is start primarying these people and voting them out of office. They're not working in our best interest. They're working for their native land's best interest. You got a lieutenant governor telling us to forget about Black History Month. Barack Obama's telling us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. We got so many examples of this.
Super Sean, know what? Everything I concur with everything that you just said, and that can be part of our laid out long-term plan. But right now, we got 2 votes to disaster right now. And I got you that they will do that. I can attest to that shit. But since they won't take your calls, you got your family to speak to make that call. You got your friends, you got your coworkers, and you got your neighbors. you get a whole source of additional phone calls to that same representative. And I don't even go with the no disrespect, because I don't give respect to people that's not showing me any respect, especially in terms of policy. Policies that you are intentionally making that will hurt Native Black Americans don't deserve respect. And that's our problem. We give our respect too much to people that hurt us.
Hey, Super Sean, real quick, you gotta be full court press, brother. Just full court press. Get everybody involved. Everybody in your circle, get them involved, boss.
No, I'm already that's part of the thing that I'm doing up here in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm working at doing that here in Detroit. You know, it's a slow roll with that. But I mean, I just want to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that I said prior.
Super Sean, I mean, I hope you had gotten the heard part of the call where we were saying to tell people to, if they sponsored that HR 40 bill, then you're going to have a lot of help, brother. Because I mean, that's one of the things we're doing now is calling, having people to call their congressman and tell them that, you know, no, I want you to unsponsor that. So if it's undulating like a wave, it's moving up and down from from Detroit to DC to Denver to Dallas or whatever to LA, and people are calling and calling, they're going to be like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because they want us to unsponsor this thing, and they will unsponsor it if we're calling and we're letting the people know. So one of the things we're doing too is we're hashtagging no to HR 40. The example is in the Jumbotron, is in hashtag NO to HR 40. That is an action item along with a sticker to showcase that, hey, the work is being done. And we're asking you to put it on all forms of, you know, social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on IG, and whatever else you may have, and share that out. We're going to share it. If I see you have it up there, I'm sharing it. And I'm sharing it because I want it to go viral. It needs to go viral, not just because we're doing a no to HR 40. That's cool. But I want you to say, hey, I called and I told my congressman no to HR 40. I need you to call your congressman too. Or did you call your congressman to say this? And once people do, we're trying to have them share that particular sticker and say, yeah, I called me and my, you know, parents called, or me and my, you know, nephews called, or me and my son called, or whomever. And just share, because that's the action item that's taking place in real time, in reality. And then we just putting a sticker on social media and saying, there it is, we doing this work. And then you could tell that person, like you said, I'm calling you back. I'm gonna see what you're doing.
Ross,
I need to see what you're doing.
hey Ross, a good way. Real quick. Yeah, and then have them to have your email. Say, look, I need to get a confirmation back from my congressman, whoever they are. I made a phone call. I tweeted. Can I get a confirmation back on my email? And then say, look, I'm gonna wait till I get an email back and call me back or tweet them back. Do full court press. Go ahead.
Absolutely. That's a great way to get confirmation back. Or I'm calling back anyway. It's one person. It's not like you got to call 20 people. I'm asking you to call one person, and that's a congressman that represents and works for you. I don't care if they drive a fly car, they drive a $200, the $1,000 suit. It doesn't matter. They work for you. So please, people, don't be intimidated, family, because I'm asking you to you know, hold on and just Hey, I don't care what they drive. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they have a JD, Juris Doctorate, PhD. It doesn't matter. We cannot be intimidated. I see here some people calling the congressman and not calling, but they're talking about the congressman and interviewing them, and they're so subservient. Oh, wonderful, Mr. Clyburn and Congressman Clyburn, and you've done wonders. And what has Clyburn done? I mean, people are talking to these people like they are, and that's not even their congressman. And they're sitting there, haven't done the research, just talking because the person has been in Congress for 29 years. We need to grow up as a people, politically speaking. We need to know that our power is right here with our people. I'm sorry, y'all. I just go on these tangents because I feel fired up. Thanks to y'all.
Oh, the other thing, one more thing, folks.
Yeah.
And see, Super Sean, this is the other thing I'd like for you to do too, man. Not only the person that your congressman that is in the seat now, if anyone is running against them, you need to find out who they are and tell them your position on no to HR 40 as well. There's a first layer and a second layer. If nobody's running against your congressman, fine. But if he does have people out there that are running against them, every one of them, you should let them know your position on HR 40, and anybody in your district that's interested in helping you in this endeavor, you guys should be making those phone calls. Not just your congressman, but also the opposition.
Right. That's the thing too. If your opposition is, oh, they're Republican, call them. Why not? Call them, tell them, say no, we don't want to do this, because I tell you, I guarantee you right now, as it is, they're looking at melanin. It's no specificity. They're looking at like who is this going to? And you talk about anybody that's in this country that has that's considered black. That's why I don't even use that term black like that anymore unless I'm painting something, right? Or talking about a car. It's a black car. It's a black SUV. But when we're talking about politics, we cannot just combine everything like that. We have to disaggregate, break everything up, because that's how and you have that designation. That's why we go by Freedmen. It's already in stone. They try to get us to use Negro, Black, African American, everything else. But what's already locked in laws is the Freedmen. And that's who we are.
And the other thing too, family, in order to sharpen yourself up on the talking points, go to the NARC website. Go put in Google, who should receive reparations, NARC. And it will take you right to the correct place on their website, and you can read for yourself.
Hey, Arthur, can you put that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you put that on your link, and I'll put it in the Jumbotron too?
Yes, I'll do that now.
All right. Thank you, brother. Right. All right. And yeah, I wanted to, if y'all need, this is political education in action, right, family? I mean, I know my brothers, the United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen. I know, with Mark, who came in earlier, people out here doing work. I'm just I don't want y'all to have that ball of frustration and what to do and it's going over me and I don't know what to catch and don't know what not to catch. And I'm on here just talking, or are we doing something? Like I'm with Sadiku. I'm gonna let you in a second, brother. I'm with Sadiku. We're not about all that talking. And at the end of the Twitter space, there is no action. There is no actionable items. I get frustrated with that. Now, if I'm educating you and it's leading to something else, then that's what's up. But if you're not learning something and you're not knowing where to go, some of what we've done so far is to fill your cup up with knowledge and information. Why? Because that helps to empower you. I don't want you going around mindless and I say, run over here, or run over there, and you do it. That's not education. That's just, I can go get a parrot to do that. Fly over here, fly over there, say pretty bird, pretty bird. We're not talking to people like they're parrots. We're talking to you like you're intelligent, but sometimes you just don't have that full knowledge base of what to do. So it started trying to fill that knowledge base up week after week after week. Now this is the action item because this needs to be done. That's why we're here to answer your questions. This is not a gotcha or a joke. This is serious.
Okay,
Now you can
Roz.
take actions offline. Yes, sir.
Okay, Roz, I just put up 2 tweets. I put up the one that takes you directly to the NARC website. And then I also put up me and Cynthia's article that breaks down to a large degree HR 40. So everybody can get really smooth and knowledgeable about their talking points. But the main 3 talking points, we gave it to you right off the top.